Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I made the officers for these two units of archers.
Scruffy Crow.
So I was looking at the archer models and I was trying to work out ways that I could make them look a bit more like officers. How I could spice them up a little bit, like I did with my line breaker officers. But it's not like I can do like an easy weapon swap or... well, there's not really much of a way of a repose you can do with these. I did repose one of these guys, made a little spearman. Not really repose, just re-weaponed. And I think he looks pretty cool. He'll get used for something else, but he doesn't really work as an officer for these units. So what I eventually came up with was this guy. So he's got a little crossbow that matches these ones, slung on his back. He is toting a little quiver. He's raised upon a little bit of cork like I've done with my other officers. And he's holding a little banner pole, which will have a little triangular banner on it. But that'll be in a later video. So I'm going to show you how I put this guy together. So we started off with one of the spearmen, and the first job was just to slice him off his base and pop him on a bit of cork. So here's what I did earlier. And then we are going to start by removing the spear. This is the most simple thing we can do. Just snip. Just going a bit lower than the glove there. Snip, snip. Okay. Now we're going to cut up the side of the glove. And snip. And that is the spear gone. And we've got a drill bit that is the same thickness as my cocktail stick. I think I'm going to pre-drill this with my little handy drill. Get it nice and central and through, and that'll make it easier to get this one in the right place. And look at that, it's even opened up the gap between his fingers and thumb. Next I take my trusty scalpel, made in Sheffield like all the best things are, and we're just going to tidy up the outsides of this, just smarten up the glove where the old spear was attached. Okay, for our cocktail stick, we want to remove the spikes from both ends, and we want to pick a round one. Not all cocktail sticks are made even. Some are rounder than others. Smarten up the ends. Just smarten up all the way around. And then this should just slot in there. So there we have the basis of any banner bearer. Made it with a little Action Man grip. And you can make the banner separate, slot it in after, or start work on him like this. Here is an officer I've made before. So this was using a slightly longer stick, like a bamboo skewer, and then this is just a cocktail stick, the same across the top. The only difference was this was a little bit thicker, so we just had to carve away some of the inside, but that's not too much hassle. But it's basically the same technique. And that's going to be for a square banner, whereas these guys are going to be rocking little triangular ones. I think before we glue this in, we're going to add the decoration for the top. So I'm going to put the hole in this in a similar way. This was simply cut out of a bit of plastic card, just like you'll see me do with the crossbow in a second. So there we go, I've drilled as centrally as we can. You can tell the drill isn't quite centre because it's deformed it on that side, but not on that side. That's just nice and central there. So now we can use the big drill, and knowing that we're not quite central, we can sort of try and off-center that a little bit. Try and take it back the other way. So there's no need to go too deep with this. We just need to make enough of a hole in the end there that we can just slot this in, like so. So a little dab of glue on the end of the stick, and we just pop that in. So before we reattach this bit, we're gonna do the quiver that we've got on here. So what I did to get the quiver, so I've used a bit of this Instamold, and I've made a mould of the side of the dwarf, including his quiver. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to push a little bit of green stuff in there and take it up as far as where the top of the quiver would be. Fill that up nice and full, and then when that sets, I'll have a cast of this entire side of the dwarf. And then a few hours later, when it was set, pop this out and trimmed it off. And we have a little quiver. So this is going to go on his belt in the same place as these ones. So currently there is a little knife there. Quite brutally remove that with the clip snips. Tidy up with the scalpel. Okay, so I've cleaned up the whole model now as well. And we've got the little clean side. So super glue again. Tiny dab is what we're going to need on the back of here. Pop that in place under his arm. Okay, so our glue should have dried on the banner pole now. And as you can see, there's all this mess from when I was drilling it. And then we've got the deformation of drilling in there and sticking the thing on. So we're just going to sand the whole thing down together. So now I'm going to add a bit of glue just in his little action mountain grip here. And I'm just going to try and clip this in. I'm probably also going to put a little dab of glue at the base there. And that'll hold that super sturdy. So the next bit's this crossbow. I did that by just cutting out a bit of sheet. So I'm trying to emulate the crossbows that the rest of the troop are holding. Just getting the rough shape for their back like that. So I've cut out a strip of card and I've trimmed off the edge to match. If you look underneath, I've trimmed off the edges to look like that. I've then scored 2 lines down for the rough shape. I'm then actually going to use the pincers and I'll cut that out with the pincers. So there we go, that's very rough and ready now. So I'm going to go in now with my knife and I'm just going to neaten some of that up. So now we have something a bit like that. And now I'm going to take my file and I'm just going to soften up all the edges and I'm going to put this little end in. And it's designed to look like the ones on here. So if you look underneath, it's kind of the same sort of design. It's not perfect though. Let's see if we can. Reduce that profile a little bit. It's a bit more like it. Alright, so there is the crossbow glued on the back. And obviously this guy's now had a coat of just matte black. And he's also had this little banner. And I'll show you how I make the banners in my next video. And once he's all painted up, he'll probably look a lot like this one. And here's how he looks next to the rest of a painted unit of the archers. And I think he stands out nicely. And I think he's going to look great on the battlefield. And that's all for this video. Please let me know what you thought down in the comments. Maybe subscribe for more. And as ever, thanks for watching. Bye.